Seaside, we're off to the seaside. Buckets and spades, all the fairground arcades. Seaside, we're off to the seaside. We're gonna have a lovely day. Alright, so next up on the list, we have the Seaside Pack. Alright, so now there's only like 2 actual variants from the TV show, but these 3 are exclusive to Tiny Tank engines. Again, credit to the user who made the game. Anyways, so let's start off with... Okay, we'll do these guys first, since they're actually canon to the show. So here we have Donald and his duck. Yeah. So, I think this has to be one of my favorite Bluebird models I've made. I think I probably like this more than the other Blue Donald I've made. And yes, I did base Donald off the Railway series. And yes, I do have a black version of Donald and Douglas, but I honestly would have loved it if they were painted blue, just to, like, match the Railway series. So here he is next to the other Bluebird Donald, but you can see a very big difference here. Now, they both have the same blue livery, but I think I like this face more because he's looking down at his duck. But yeah, and honestly, I think the duck does look pretty cute on Donald. So, now I gotta say, Donald's duck is a pretty interesting and kind of funny episode, since, I mean, I think one remembers that, like, Duck played a trick on Donald where they put an egg in his tender and a duck hatched in it, and basically Donald decided to take care of a duck. I think they got Duck back by putting a nest of eggs underneath his chassis. But yeah, there's just so much random funniness going on in that episode, and I think George Carlin's narration is pretty great as well. I definitely think that he does a better job than Michael Angelis, in my opinion, but narration aside, I do love the episode. I would say, like, almost every episode of Season 3 is pretty nice. I would say Season 3 overall is a pretty great season. But anyways, also the song Donald's Duck in the Thomas Trackside Tunes video is probably, like, a nice addition. Like, it's pretty catchy and fun, but same with all the other Season 5 songs as well. But anyways, now, basically the model is painted the same way I painted this Bluebird Donald here, but I think I basically edited the face and made him looking down, which I gotta say, that's pretty impressive. And like I said, the duck here is well painted and it's pretty cute. I mean, it does kind of look like a little bird, but I just painted it white. But yeah, that's Donald and his duck. Not much else to say, I just think it's pretty cute. And if you do like this Bluebird Donald, tell me in the comments below. I gotta say, I think this is one of my favorites I've done. Alright, next is the fish-covered Thomas. So yeah, this is another interesting Thomas model that I've made. And this is probably one of my favorite variants today as well. And to be honest, I think Something Fishy is probably my favorite episode that is fish-related, as well as the Season 4 episode Fish. Not the Season 8 one that steals the title. And not to mention Thomas acting like a complete idiot and just not listening to Arthur's advice. And not being careful. Seriously, how many episodes in the hit era have we gotten where a character acts stupid and gets in trouble? And has to keep amending their mistakes? Yeah, a million times, but I gotta say, Something Fishy was definitely one of my favorite episodes of Season 7. It's nice that we get to see Arthur again. The crash scene was pretty cool. Thomas's hatred of fish is pretty interesting. Also, like, I did forget to mention Something in the Air as well, where Henry, like, crashes into the river. Anyways, yeah, I do remember this one. I do remember the opening where a crate of fish falls on Thomas and he gets covered in fish. I think it was pretty interesting. But yeah, if you're wondering, like, what I did here, I basically gave Thomas the, like, confused look. I basically, like, painted the same blue, but, like, put silver on the, all over him. Like, it kind of looks like it has that weathered effect, if you know what I mean. But, yeah, I gotta say, I love this. I decided to make it a little different compared to the one that's actually in the Roblox game and more accurate to the show. Like, this, along with Paint Splattered and Coldest Thomas, are some of my favorite Bluebird models I've made. As well as Donald and his duck. Alright, so those were, like, the two, like, canon TV show engines of this pack. Now let's move on to the other stuff. So, here we have, okay, we'll get my least favorite to favorite out of the way. So, here we have the lily pad duck. And it's just duck painted with green dots on him, like lily pads. Yeah, this one isn't really too special to me, like, but it's still pretty cool, like. Honestly, like, imagine, like, if Thomas Minis, like, made more variants of the characters, like Duck here, and that's basically what this reminds me of. Like, how, like, you get all this random stuff, and then you get, like, crossovers like DC and, yeah, as well as other things. But anyways, this is basically just Duck with lily pads on. That's all I'm going to say. But still, I think it's pretty nice to have another version of the Bluebird Duck, because I really love the Bluebird Duck. It's one of my favorite models I made. Yeah. This makes me wish that the Bluebird series wasn't discontinued, because I would have loved to see more characters. Like, if we got stuff like Percy in a smaller scale, if we got Duck and Oliver, and if we got stuff like Henry and Gordon. But hey, at least we got the 3 printer. So yeah. This is basically just lily pad duck. Alright, now let's get into the 2 interesting ones. So, here we have Ice Cream Oliver. Yes. I painted him white like vanilla ice cream. But yeah, who wouldn't want ice cream on a hot day, am I right? Yeah. I know most of us like different foods. But yeah, I gotta say, this little Oliver is probably one of my favorites. Like, it does kind of look like the original Oliver, just unpainted, but he's painted white like ice cream. I know there's, like, all different kinds of flavors of ice cream. Like, you got vanilla, obviously, but you also got stuff like strawberry and chocolate and mint ice cream. And, dude, it's just so cool. All the different flavors you can choose. Like, although the only downside is that it melts in the hot sun if you, like, don't eat it pretty quickly. Same thing with chocolate. But yeah, still, either way, I do love the Ice Cream Oliver. And to be honest, he kind of reminds me of, like, those, like, learning segments where the trains are unpainted and you have to, like, figure out what color they are. And honestly, as much as I'm not a fan of the learning segments because of how brain dead they are and how pandering they are to little kids. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're cool when you're a kid, but when you're older, you just get tired of it. Not to mention that it doesn't really take up too much time. It's just in between episodes of, like, the DVDs and stuff. But if you're talking about calling engines, oh my gosh. But still, these probably have to be some of my favorite learning segments because I love painting trains colors. Yeah, one of the reasons why I love 3D printing and making customs. But still, I gotta say, this Ice Cream Oliver is pretty cool. And if I had to choose between this and the Scrap Oliver, I would pick this one because this is my favorite. Again, Oliver's another one of my favorite Bluebird models. Okay, this one's a little... Okay, I think this video might be as short as the last video I made, but still, I think this one's a little bit better to me, personally. Alright, now, here's the last engine I'm going to be talking about. Here we have the Sea Percy. Yes. Alright, now, before anyone says that this Percy is based off of Thomas for a Day, I'm afraid not. I didn't base this off of that. Yes, it did actually happen. Percy was painted blue in that episode, but hey, we saw Whiff without his glasses, so why don't we talk about that? I think it's the first time Whiff ever took off his glasses. But yeah. So, if you're wondering why I painted Percy blue, I just painted him blue like the ocean. Because you know how water is actually blue and how the ocean is blue? But yeah. So, Percy is actually blue like the ocean and not like in Thomas for a Day. But let's be honest, if I did base Percy off of Thomas for a Day, he would have been the same shade as Thomas here. But this Percy is painted blue like the ocean. But if you think about it, the water and Thomas's color are different. Because water is more like lighter blue and it's kind of salty, the ocean. And the lakes are pretty like dirt brown. And water is pretty clear. But if we're looking at Thomas's blue paint, now I can't really name Thomas's blue paint off the top of my head. I think Neil Patrick Harris called it cerulean. But I don't know if that's accurate or not. But yeah. All I know is that these two are different shades of blue. Anyways. Now I gotta say, I do love this blue Percy. And I think I probably like it more than the green Percy. I don't know. He does have a bigger face, but... So I love this shade of blue. Like, and yes, he does kind of look like Liz from Liz Productions 5784. I kind of wish that her OC wasn't private now that I've learned about it. Although, if I were to make... Wait, if I was to do more OCs in the future, like, of, like, different types of merchandise, I thought about making an N-scale model of Liz, but I might have to ask her for permission. Since, again, Liz is very private, like her OC. Anyways, yeah. But still, this blue Percy's pretty cool. He still has the number 6, he still has the yellow dome, he still has the yellow windows. He's just painted blue, like the ocean, and not like in Thomas for a Day. I know some people think that, but that's not where I got the inspiration from. Alright. I mean, you can disagree with me and say that, but I respect your opinion nonetheless. I'm just going to call this Percy blue like the ocean, since this is the Seaside set. Alright, so that was the end of the Seaside pack. Always comment down below what your favorite model was. Did you prefer, like, Donald's Duck, Fish-Covered Thomas, Lily Pad Duck? This right here. And did you like the Ice Cream Oliver and the Sea Percy? Let me know which your favorite type of train was in the comments. I think all of them especially, but I gotta say, the Donald's Duck one and the Blue Percy are some of my favorites. Anyways, that'll do it for this video. Stay tuned for more, and I'll see you next time. Thank you, Percy, for such a lovely day. Bye for now.